I hope you didn't hear me clearing my throat there, did you? How rude of me. I had the microphone on while the music was playing. I'm a bit concerned, really. I've been looking back at a couple of the YouTube videos because this show, as well as being a radio show, is a video show as well. You can see as well as watch, as well as listen, rather, if you can actually bring yourself to do that. I personally can't. Now, I can't believe it. Someone at the door. Just a minute now. How exciting. And so early on. This wasn't arranged. Stay there a minute. Let me see who it is. Hello, mate. Yeah, thanks a lot. There I am. Thanks so much, mate. Good luck, bye. Oh, I'll come in, don't worry. Sorry. How exciting. Well, it's nice to get a knock at the door that early in the morning. I didn't expect that to happen. Yes, because it's more, you see, it's... I've got a box here, I don't know what it is, from Australia. It's the postman. I have no idea what this... Oh, yes, hang on a minute, it might be my new camera. Oh, yes, there it is. I have purchased a new webcam, yes? In my quest to bring you a higher quality video, I have purchased a new webcam off the internet. Here it is. Look, you wait till you see the look of this. If let me describe it. Those of you just listening and who are heavily into technology. Oh, it comes with a clip, like a crocodile clip. I wonder what that's like on your ear. Oh yes, I've got an earring now. Yeah, I used to have earrings. Yeah, when I was about 18 years old, I had great big hoop earrings. I looked like a gypsy. Honest. My mum used to hate them. Yes, I always remember actually. Turning up. Oh, it's a little lapel microphone as well. How camp is that? Look. Oh, it'd be like being on proper telly, wouldn't it? Look, a little microphone. And it kind of clips on your collar, which is quite good. Oh, how exciting is this? This has come all the way from Australia, this little camera. Then you've got the wiring, and the camera itself, I think it's all metal. So let's have a look. It comes in a lovely little white bag. Like a cloth bag to protect it, and it's called an Agent V4 high definition webcam. This is brand new. This is. Can you believe it? It came just as I started the show there. If only I'd waited another couple of minutes. Right, hang on. Let me get it out of the little bag here. Oh, it's in another bag as well. Very well protected there. Well, that's probably because it's come all the way from Australia. What else? And here it is. Wow. That's quality, that is. It's all metal. And you can focus it as well, which you can't do with a lot of cameras, these webcams. What a beautiful little piece of kit. Oh, I should be trying that out. So I'm quite... Oh, does it move around? Yes, it does. So you can position it as you want it. What a fantastic little piece of kit. Wow. Oh, I like that. So a new gadget has arrived, and it wasn't actually that expensive. This was about 99 Australian dollars. So what's that? It's about £40. Yes, very pleased with that. What a lovely camera. How marvellous. It's like it's long, it's like cylindrical, and it's silver, but the difference between this and I've never seen a webcam made out of metal. This, listen, let me get a pen. That's solid metal, that is. What a beautiful piece of kit. You'll have to have a look at that on the internet if you've got internet at home. Then it's Agent AGENT V4 webcam. 3 megapixels video resolution. Designed for computer plug and play for XP, Service Pack 2 and Vista. Let me see. Webcam, German quality steel coated lens unit. Well, we like that. I shall certainly be trying that one out. How exciting is that? Little box coming through the post at the beginning of the show. Now, as I was saying, right at the beginning there, I'm a little bit concerned. I was looking back through my a couple of the more recent YouTube videos. Oh, just a minute. That sound's gonna go every show. I can't. Just a minute. Oh dear. I've got a problem with. Oh, it's useless. Just a minute. Oh, blimey. Come on, work. Oh, I'm getting very angry now. 1 second. Don't expect things to go wrong this early in the show. It's going to go all together at one point, I'm sure it is. I've never been able to find the fault, actually. There's a piece of equipment with, it would seem a loose wire, but I can't find where the loose wire is. It might be the plug, it might be the wire, but I'm changing the equipment soon in a couple of weeks, so that's why I don't want to go too far into it, because sometimes you look for a fault in something, and while you're looking for it, you'll throw something else out. So I hate to move wires or unplug anything like that, you know. Yeah, looking back through one of the YouTube videos, now you can see, watch as well as listen to the show just by going to the main United Kingdom Talk website, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. And I was looking at my face, and you know what? I think one of my eyes is bigger than the other. Honest. If you've not watched before, you have a look and see if you think the same. I'm sure one of my eyes is bigger than the other. Is this anything to worry about? Do I need to have a surgical operation or something like that to get my eyes back the same size? And maybe, has it always been like that? I don't know. Maybe one side of my head is more tired than the other side. Who knows? This is a mystery. So if you think that, I don't know, no one's ever sort of sent an email in to mention this, but maybe, maybe you've noticed it and have been too nice to say anything. Please have a look. Is one of my eyes bigger than the other? Check on the website, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. If you're following the story about my nephew Jimmy, who's been on school report for a while now, I have no further news. Since we spoke to him on the last show, there has been no other news yet. Okay, so we'll see what happens there. Might be some news, there might not be any news. Now, we're going to have a special guest on the show very shortly. Her phone is at last working. Yes, it's Gwen, who follows me around at our karaoke nights that we do every Monday night at Belushi's in Hammersmith. Suko in New York, who's coming to visit the UK, along, not all together, but Millie in Minnesota's coming this year. Joe from AmericanTalkUSA.com is coming this year. They are all coming to visit the UK. Suko's first, I believe, and she was asking me, I think because she's going to come to the karaoke night at Belushi's in Hammersmith. I do that every Monday night from 8 o'clock, okay? Belushi's in Hammersmith every Monday night. Sorry, from 9 o'clock, unless there's football, in which case we have to wait till the football's finished. But she was asking me, is there anything else to do around where Belushi's is? And I think the answer to that is no. I don't think there is anything else to do around the area. However, there is a main tube station there. Right. Oh, the alarm clock's gone off now. Oh my God! Just a minute. What a disaster this is today. Just a second. Shut up! We're not very successful today, are we? We carry on. Trouble is, of course, every time I get up, because I'm dressed quite well today. I've got a nice jacket on and a white shirt. But usually I can just sit in front of you like this and I don't have to get up. But when I get up, you realise I haven't done anything on the bottom half and there's a pair of old tracksuit bottoms on. Oh, dear. Yes, she was asking if there's anything else to do around the Hammersmith area. And I don't think there is, to be honest. But there is a very busy tube station. And from Hammersmith, you can get into London and throughout everywhere else. And I wish it's the same for anywhere, really. As long as you've got a tube station pretty close by for London and buses, then you can get around. One of the things I don't think you want to do when you come to London to stay, and this goes for anyone, is hire a car. I've spoken to a few people about this here on the show months ago now, but really, if you're going to holiday in London, you will not need a car. You can do everything on the tubes and the buses. And besides, we have some overzealous parking wardens and traffic wardens here who have been known to put tickets on cars even when they're not breaking the law, just to make money, okay? And you really don't want to deal with all that, because it's a nightmare. Really is. So you don't want to do that. If you come to London, goes for anyone else, do not hire a car. Do the whole thing by tube and bus. All right? Right then, let's see here. I think what we'll do now is ring Gwen, who I hope is home right now. She's home alone. I don't know if she's home alone. She's been out shopping this morning. Right, okay. Now, Gwen, we mentioned tubes and buses because Gwen has some very good bus stories to tell you. Okay? Right, so let me just ring this number. We'll get Gwen on the phone. Here we go. It's ringing.
Hello.
Hello, Gwen.
Hello.
Can you hear me, Gwen?
Hello.
Hello, Gwen. Hello, Gwen.
Hello, Chris.
How are you, my darling?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, it's lovely to hear your voice, dear.
Is it?
Where have you been shopping?
I've been shopping, yes. I've just been over to what they call the Spires. It's like a little shopping precinct. It's only literally 3 minutes away.
Okay. Did you take the bus?
Did I take the bus?
Now, I'll tell you why I ask. I was just talking to people about... There's a few people coming to visit London this year. One from New York, one from Minnesota, and one from Tennessee, Gwen. And I can hear you laughing there. And the thing is, I've told them that one thing you don't want to do when you come to London is hire a car.
Hire a car?
Yeah, you don't want to be driving in London hiring a car, do you?
No, of course not.
You can do it all on the tubes and the buses.
That's right.
But, according to you... There's a little bit of a problem with some of the buses late at night, isn't there, Gwen?
Yeah, but it's not only late at night, Chris. It's sort of any time of day or night when I get on a bus. I always seem to have a problem.
Well, the thing is, I can't believe you. Can I ask approximately, of course, how old are you again?
I'm 73 this year.
73 this year. That is just an approximate age. She might not be that old. On the other hand, she might not be that young. I'm not quite sure, really. But Gwen comes to karaoke nights and thinks nothing of travelling back for a good hour on the train or on the buses at 11 o'clock at night. And she's a lady on her own, you know. I mean, anything could happen, Gwen. If I thought anything would happen to me, I'd be taking the bus as well, to be honest.
Well, Chris, that's what I'm saying. You should come with me because, I was proposed to on a bus. I had a nice Russian man ask me...
When was this?
Oh, this was about 5 years ago. I'd been out late at night. I'd been to something called Style Follies, and I was travelling home really late. It was sort of like midnight.
Is that another karaoke night? Is it?
And it wasn't they used to call it steam age karaoke because you sang to the piano.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't
more like an
piano
open
bar,
mic type thing.
It was a nice show that they put on. Everybody got up and sang and sort of sang along to the piano.
Right.
But I was leaving there, and this chap was sitting opposite me on the train, very distinguished looking man, silver hair, and he sort of looked across to me and sort of said, would you like to marry me? And I said to him, no, I'm already married. He said, would you not like to marry me and come and live in Vladivostok?
Who?
Vladivostok.
Is that a person or a place?
In Russia.
It sounds like that sounds like a name for vodka.
Yeah, Vladivostok.
Okay.
VLADIVSTOCK, I think. Yeah, so I told him no, I didn't want to go and live in Vladivostok. And
Was he
quite
upset by the fact that you
And then
turned...
he said to me, I like big women.
How rude is that?
Exactly.
What a cheek, Gwen. I like big women.
And there was a young boy sitting there, a young chap sitting next to me, and he kept telling him to behave himself. He said, just leave her alone, leave her alone. But see, this is what I mean. But Gillian said she realises...
Who's Gillian, Gwen?
Gillian said she realises why this happens to me is because
Who's
I make
Gillian?
eye contact with people.
Hello? Who's Gillian?
My daughter.
Right, okay, Gillian's your daughter, yes.
She makes eye contact with me, and I smile at people. That's why she reckons that I get into so much trouble.
Yeah, but I do that, and then they look the other way, Gwen. I noticed that. You know, you do. You make eye contact and you smile, and then you get the most filthy look, and they look away. Why do you get that?
Oh, well, that doesn't happen with me. Unfortunately, they sort of take it further.
And is it right you got on your bus one day and this bloke come and sat on your lap?
Yeah, I've had people sit on my lap. I've had people lay their head on my shoulder on the underground and go to sleep. But I mean, that's sort of, you know, just part of the course. I was sitting on a bus at 11 o'clock in the morning, and a man got on with a little small cardboard box with no bottom in the bottom of the box, because he put the box on my head. And then he
done what?
He put this cardboard box on my head.
Right.
And then he proceeded to blow up, you know, the toy balloons that they have,
yes,
the sausage balloons.
Yeah.
He proceeded to blow these balloons up and put them in the top of this box.
On your head?
He never said a word to me. He never spoke. And 3 stops later, he just took the box off of my head with the balloons and got off. And he kept a really straight face the whole time. And I could hear everyone sitting behind me on the bus laughing. And I just sort of sat there because I thought, oh, well, you know, it's about right. Gillian says that I've got a aura about me that attracts these people.
I think you must have. I wonder what he was doing with his box then.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. He just got on with this little cardboard box in one hand, and he just came up to me and put it on my head and started blowing these balloons up and sitting them inside the box, and I just sat there.
It's strange. You see, the thing is, with these bus stories that you have there, I've never ever had bus stories or train stories from anyone else ever, and yet so much seems to happen to you when you use public transport. What about taxis? Anything?
About? No, I haven't really. I mean,
I don't use taxis.
You know, the banter between the taxi driver and you, but I mean, I've never had anything really funny happen. A couple of times taxi drivers, on one instance when I was going from the Golden Line where I'd been to you and was going over to the Cap,
yeah,
and he asked me what I'd been doing at the Golden Line, and I sort of said that I'd been there singing, and he couldn't get over that. He sort of thought, and because it was getting late by that time, and he was sort of like, said to me, well, if you're going over here now, he said, what time are you going to be going home? And I went, oh, I'll be going home on the all-night bus at about 2, and he thought that was really weird that an old lady was sort of roaming the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, we all do, Gwen. We all do. Can I just tell people the Golden Line is a pub that's it. It's no longer there, unfortunately. We used to do karaoke there, and the Cap also, that's a pub as well, known as the Black Cap in Camden Town. And again, that's where I was doing the karaoke. I did about 2 years. Oh, must be 2 years ago now, Gwen.
Yeah.
I can't believe I actually left the Black Cap now almost over a year and a half ago.
That's right.
It's amazing how quickly time flies.
And it's not the same without you.
No, well, I mean, you know, we all do it differently. That's the thing.
No.
But I do like to turn it into a bit of a joke, as you know.
Yeah. Oh, never mind.
Now, with the singing, you've sung in Leicester Square after winning a competition. Is there any other places that you've sung, sort of, you know, along those lines, perhaps famous places? Or
not really that I can think of, no. Only years and years ago at the Victory Parade when I was young.
How old were you then?
And then another time I got up to sing and I made a real sort of mess of it. I was so nervous, I just had to abandon it. I had to run off the stage. I was too nervous.
How old were you then?
I was about 20.
And how old were you at the Victory Parade?
At the Victory Parade, I was about 11.
Now, we have a lot of people listening who may not know what that is, especially some of the younger ones.
Oh, the youngsters, yeah. Well, that was at the end of the war when they had all the street parties and they put on all these concerts and had stages and, you know, everybody was just happy that the war was over and everywhere was really friendly, though everything was bombed and no food, but it was a lovely time.
So when you had this street party for the Victory Parade, where did the food come from? Or had the restrictions?
We all supplied it. My mother supplied it. Just everybody got together and supplied it.
Yeah. Could you
what
see
there was? I mean, because food was still rationed at that time.
Right. Could you see that happening now?
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe
a street party.
People do pull together when there's something awful, but I don't think it would happen in the same way.
No. Did your mum do the cooking?
No. Hello?
Did your mum do the cooking?
My mother did the cooking, yes.
What did you have?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you then. Yeah, my mum used to do the cooking. She was a good cook.
Right.
Yeah, because she came from Norfolk and we all used to be called Norfolk dumplings because my family was a little bit large.
So you're going on about your size again now, Gwen. You don't need to do that, my darling.
Thank you, Chris.
Were you evacuated?
No, I wasn't. I was the only one that wasn't evacuated. All
Why is that,
my friends were, but I wasn't.
They probably thought you could look after yourself, Gwen.
Probably thought I'd be trolling about on the midnight buses.
I remember my mum telling me she was evacuated to Bognor Regis.
Okay.
And I mean down there, I think my aunt and my uncle went down there as well. And they used to go stealing apples from fields.
That's right,
scrumping, that's the word, yeah. Yeah, must be awful, though, to be kind of taken away from your family and to go with someone that you never knew.
Well, exactly. Well, what about some children were sent to Australia, apparently, and they never saw their parents ever again.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was a whole article about it some time ago, all these children that were sent off to Australia. Some were sent to Canada, but they never ever were reunited with their families.
Why is that then?
Some of them were mistreated. I mean, my husband was evacuated and he went to Wales.
Yeah.
And apparently him and his brother went. They sort of like idolised his brother, but my husband they didn't take to, and they used to shut him in a cupboard, and he used to tell my husband that when he heard the horn blowing, the bogeyman would come and get him, and then he used to proceed to sit outside the door where he'd locked him in and start blowing a horn, so my husband used to sort of like be petrified.
That's an awful thing, isn't it?
So his mother had to go and take him home because he couldn't, they weren't looking after him. He was really poorly.
How old was it? Did your husband?
Well, he was sort of about 6 or 7 at the time.
Right. So, I mean, he didn't. Your husband is too young to have fought in the war, was he?
He was, yeah.
I think
like me.
There's not many people left, is there now? Really? I mean, my dad.
No, they're all sort of dying off now, aren't they?
Yeah, my dad fought in the war. I think the second one.
Yeah, well, my husband's dad did as well.
My dad would be 69, 79, 80. My dad would have been 81 now. He died in 1996.
Okay.
And he used to tell us these war stories and things like that. But, you know, I don't know what it is about sons and dads. But you get to a certain age and for some reason you don't listen anymore. And, like, when they try and talk to you, you kind of brush them off. Do you know what I mean?
That's right. Well,
and I don't know why that is. I was exactly the same. I always remember, you know, I might go up there and visit my mum on a Sunday afternoon or something. For Sunday dinner once I'd left home.
Yeah.
And I'd go in the kitchen and chat away to my mum like there was no tomorrow. And I'd go in the living room and sit down and Dad would be in his armchair. And he'd always try and strike up a conversation. I'm like, yeah. No. And I wonder why that is. Have you got a son?
I have, yeah.
Is it what?
Well, yeah, no, I know where you're coming from.
How old is he now? How old is he now?
Ian, he's 44.
Okay, well, go back about 15 years.
Yeah.
How was the relationship with him and his dad then?
Oh, well, no, they do get on really well together. Even
Right.
now, they really do. They get on sort of really, really well. But Ian, with me, he was always, you know, like, take the children to school.
Yeah.
He never wanted, he'd run off and leave me. He didn't want me taking him into the school playground.
What, your mum? Your son? Of course, yeah, of course, yeah.
So he'd run off. He didn't want to know. But, no, but with his dad, he's always done things with his dad. And,
okay. Yeah, I don't know why that is. You know, now, of course, now that he's died, and you're thinking, why was you like that? Why did you brush your dad off when there was no reason for it, really? He just wanted to have a conversation. I remember him saying...
Yeah, but I'm sure he probably didn't feel that way, did he?
I hope not.
No,
I don't know why, though. It's just a strange thing. Funny you should mention taking him to school there. I've got two nephews. One's 25 now. He lives with he's got his girlfriend living at home as well. And the other one, 24. He's 25 this year. And the other one's 12. He's just become 12 on the 1st of April. And he's been a bit naughty, Gwen.
Is he?
He's on... Are you ready for the... I'll say it quietly because I don't want everyone hearing. School report.
Oh, right.
Oh, yes, yeah. He's got a bit of paper he has to fill in at every lesson now, and he has to get a tick.
Okay.
And if he doesn't get a tick, he gets a cross, and it's even more trouble.
Dear.
What were you like at school?
I was a good girl.
I don't believe you, Gwen. I reckon...
No, I was always a good girl at school. I used to get really good reports. I've still got my school reports, actually, some of them, and I've got a very nice letter that one of my teachers wrote to me when after I'd left school, and she found out that I'd passed my exams to be a state registered nurse, and she wrote me this really lovely letter about how pleased she was and how good I was at school, and she always knew that I would do something for myself, you know. So,
when did you go into nursing, Gwen?
I was head girl. So,
oh, was you really?
Yes.
Oh! Gwen, you must come down to one of our school discos, I think.
I was thinking that. I thought, oh, well, I couldn't come in dressed in my gym slip, but I could come down as school matron.
You could come in your gym slip if you want.
No, oh, blimey.
You want to see some of the girls, they got the skirts so far up their legs.
They've got the figures, not me.
Dear me. They got the skirts right up their legs.
I could come in looking like Hattie Jakes in my school matron's uniform.
Now, there's a great film person, Hattie Jakes. Oh, I used to love those carry-on films.
Carry-on films,
we have the school disco at Belushi's on the last Saturday of every month now, and they do, I would say, more than half the people are dressed up, including myself. I've got a nice. I've actually got a blazer on today. I've got a little black jacket on. I know you can't see it, but I've got a maroon blazer. The only thing is, I haven't got a school badge for it, Gwen.
Haven't you?
They seem to be very difficult.
I'm sure you could go into a school outfitter shop and buy a badge.
Well, yeah, I suppose so, but we haven't got one in Bracknell.
Haven't you?
No, they have got a John Lewis just down the road in Reading. But
have they got school uniforms?
Well, I don't know. There? That's the thing. I looked on the internet, school badges, and I can find like metallic badges that say head boy or head girl, but not actually the school badge, you know, that you would put on the pocket.
Put in school uniform badge.
Oh, hang on a minute. Let me just write this down then. What have I got to put in?
Put in school uniform badge for blazer.
Right. Right, I'll just write that down. Okay. Oh, I'll have a look at that later. Oh, you're very up on the Google, aren't you?
I am.
Now, you see, when I search for something on the internet, I get a bit lost. Have you died?
No.
Thank God for that, Gwen.
I thought you were searching your computer.
I thought we'd lost you then. No, I'm not going to have a look now. Yeah, okay. I can see you. I can see you coming along to a Saturday night, but I don't know if I don't think you like the music though, Gwen.
Is it sort of like where you've got to bang your head banging?
No, it's pop music from the charts.
Oh, okay.
If you like the chart music, you know, the bit of R&B and all that sort of stuff.
Is it the old chart music or current day?
Both.
Okay.
What would you like me to play you? You could give me a list of records.
Okay, and
before I start,
get them sorted out for the night. I'll come along.
I'll just stick to the list, Gwen. When did you go into nursing?
Oh, I went into nursing back in 1952.
It was different then, wasn't it?
It was. We did this programme about that, didn't we? I
remember doing that. Yeah, people haven't heard it though.
Yes. When it was the good old days, when the patients took priority over everything else.
Yeah.
Now the paperwork takes priority over the patients.
Oh.
You know, they've got to get their paperwork done, and the poor patients can sit in the wards and sort of. I'm not saying all at all, but you know, my friend has recently been in hospital, and I've had a couple of run-ins there where, you know, she had perfectly right to complain about something, but they were shouting at her and telling her that they would work in 2 hours overtime, and that it wasn't their job to notice something was wrong. They weren't a doctor, and
these are nurses, are they?
I was aghast. I thought, well,
are these nurses?
In my days, it was the nurse's job to notice if something was wrong with the patient and report it to the doctor.
Yeah, are these are nurses? Are they that talking to her?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I mean, years ago, nurses.
If you're really ill, which she is, she's really ill. She's got a terminal illness. You know, you don't want to be shouted at like that.
No.
Because then she's afraid, once her visitors have gone, she's afraid to tell them something, you know. She just keeps quiet about things.
Yeah, you see, years ago you just couldn't imagine that happening.
No.
Nurses were portrayed, and indeed were kind of unsung angels, weren't they?
Well, of course.
But now...
But of course, see, their training is completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, I did my training, and you worked on the wards. Apart from going into the classroom for a couple of weeks at a time, you worked on the wards throughout, day and night. But now they only work on the wards for 19 weeks out of their 3 years training.
Oh, right.
Now that to me is...
Well, what's the point of that?
I just don't know how they cope with when they have to go onto a ward. Dealing with the patients, because you get your experience from being with the patients. And,
I think from what you're saying, I think maybe they've got.
Weeks, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
You know, but the rest of the time they're sort of studying and doing paperwork.
I think maybe from what you're saying there, they're trained to do the medical side of things, but perhaps are not very good at people skills.
Well, this is it.
You know, talking to people.
This is the problem.
Mind you, we know a few people like that, Gwen, don't we now?
I mean, one of the nurses, when I asked him to open the window because my friend was really hot, the ward was really warm, and she had a little small window behind her, he stood looking at me chewing gum.
How
unprofessional is that?
Yeah.
They wanted Hattie Jakes about. She would have floored him.
Do you remember that? Carry on doctor or carry on nurse. I love those.
Carry on doctor, yeah.
I love those old Carry On films, didn't you?
Yeah.
What's your favourite one?
Well, I think the very first one that I ever saw, and because it was appertaining to my time, Carry On Nurse, I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, same here. Same here. The old ones. And
it was one of, I think it was more or less the first one. It was either the first one or the second one to come out.
Did you see?
It was really at the beginning. It was. I'm almost sure it was probably number one.
There was a new one made recently, wasn't there, in the last few years? Which
probably.
I don't think I saw it. Wasn't Julian Clary in it?
Oh, maybe. I haven't seen that.
And some new people like that. I haven't seen it either. I just wondered how that went down.
Yeah.
Are you a film person, Gwen?
I used to be. I used to go quite a lot. I don't go. I went last week because Gillian was home. We went and saw Marley and me about the dog, but I found it a bit irritating. I didn't really enjoy it. It's Jennifer Aniston, and I don't know who's she. A
famous actress?
Yeah, who was in Friends.
I'm useless with celebrities.
Are you?
Absolutely useless.
Oh, it was really funny talking about that. I came out of Old Street Station one lunchtime. I was trying to get over to South East London, and I'd got as far as Old Street, and I was having to get another bus to take me on. And as I came out of the underground, there was this man standing there, and I'm looking at him, and I'm saying in my head, now I know who it is. Now who is he? Who is he? Who is he? And he looked at me and he said, yes, I am who you think I am. And I'm standing there thinking, well, I can't think
I don't know who you are.
And he walked on down the underground, and as he walked away and I walked away, I went, oh my God, it's David Schwimmer out of Friends.
David who?
David Schwimmer. Did you ever watch Friends?
Never watched a single episode.
Oh, okay.
I
never used to watch
clips
it on a
of
regular basis.
You can't get a word in when you're going, can you? Dear me, Gwen.
Sorry?
You're talking straight over the top there, dear. I'm just saying, I've never watched a single episode of Friends. Only I saw clips and I thought, no, this is just not for me. It didn't look funny at all.
Well, it's American humour, isn't it? I mean, it was sort of quite funny when it first started, but then it just went on and on and on, and I suppose it becomes a bit of a chore.
See, I have liked American humour. Do you remember the series Soap?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, with the black guy who was playing the butler, he was a fantastic character, Benson.
Yeah, I know the series you mean. I did used to watch that.
That was hilarious. But then he had his own series, which didn't work as well, I found, which was called Benson, I think. So I quite like that. I'm just trying to think of any other American comedy series that I find. The Simpsons. Now, again, I've only ever seen 1 or 2 episodes of The Simpsons.
Don't you find that funny?
Well, yes, but it's on too much. I don't like the way the TV channels now, they'll show 4 or 5 episodes all in one long thing. And I think it takes away the magic of it.
Yeah, probably.
It's like when they have a whole weekend of Doctor Who. I mean, by the time you've seen...
I mean, I love Doctor Who, don't you?
I love Doctor Who, yeah. But if you was to watch it for a whole day, I think you'd get fed up with it.
Yeah, well, you probably would. You'd sort of go... I can't think what I was going to say then.
It's like going out to have the same dinner all the time, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, back onto transport, Gwen. What about flying?
Oh, Now, see...
How... Has that been pretty...
I had an experience.
Has that uneventful or what?
Nothing to do with anything wrong with the plane, but once again, we're on the plane. My husband was sitting by the window. I was in the middle. And sitting beside me was a German man. Now, we were on a Lufthansa flight, so when they gave out the directions about, if there was an accident, what to do, she spoke all in German. And then she finished, and this German man turned around to me and went, what did she say? And I went to him, well, I haven't got a clue. I said, but you're German, why don't you understand it? Anyway, that aside, they brought round the refreshments, and I'd bought a bottle of water, and I'd poured it into my glass, and the next thing is, he's taken his false teeth out and put it in my glass of water.
Oh, no. Without even asking you?
That's on a plane.
What did you say? You must have said...
I nudged my husband, and he's going to me, be quiet, because I'm pointing. I nudged my husband, and I pointed to my glass with his false teeth in it. And he sort of, because he thought I was going to say something to him, but I did. I sort of said to him, I've just paid for that bottle of water. Why have you put your teeth in there? But of course, he then pretended he couldn't understand me. He'd spoken to me in English at the beginning about what was she saying, and then he pretended he couldn't speak any English. But that's the only funny, really, thing that's happened to me on a plane, where something's happened, where people have done something. I mean, this all started way back, going back years, all these sort of funny things. It was New Year, and I worked in the city, and the city was sort of quite empty, and I'd had to go in just after New Year. It's not like today where you get the whole fortnight off. In those days, you went back to work, didn't you?
Yes.
Straight away. And but the city was sort of fairly empty. There were a few people in, but it wasn't crowded. Anyway, I got to the bus stop. It was an absolutely freezing cold day. I had a fur, not a real fur, a fake fur, but I had a fake fur coat on to keep me warm. And as I looked up, there was this man coming towards me. He'd got no shirt on, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to stand here because there was nobody else about. So I went to walk away, but as I turned my head back, I could see my bus coming, so I thought, oh, I'll go back to the bus stop. I got back to the bus stop, and he was in the process of taking his shoes off. Anyway, I went past him, and I got on the bus, and I asked for my fare, and went and sat down on side on the long seat, and I heard this voice sort of saying to the bus driver, I'm with that lady.
And he pointed at you?
I turned to look at him, and he'd taken everything off. He was standing there with not a bit of clothing on. And I sort of said to the bus driver, he's not with me. And the bus driver went to him, you can't get on this bus, mate. And he sort of just turned round and got off. But what was making me laugh was the people that were sitting on the bus, they was all sitting there with such straight faces. Not one of them was smiling or thinking it funny, and I just sat on the seat and I couldn't stop laughing, and I thought, well, I bet they think I've encouraged him.
Why are people like that? They're so miserable, aren't they?
Well, I know, because, I mean, you'd laugh, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would. You know I would.
When that man put the box on my head, I could hear people behind me laughing, but you could not help but laugh. But they just sat there with entirely straight faces.
Yeah, but people are like that, Gwen.
Looking at them, they were making me laugh, thinking how sort of serious they all were.
You see some of them in the pubs and the clubs, right? They're sitting around the side. It doesn't matter what you say or do.
That's right.
They sit there as miserable as sin. And you wonder why on earth they bothered coming out the door. You really do. They sit there so miserable sometimes, don't they?
That's right. Not a smile, not a...
But we're not like that, are we, my love? We're not like that, are we?
No, not at all. Not at all. And another time, I was waiting on the platform to get on an underground train at Totteridge, and this man came up to me and he said to me, are you getting on this train? And I went to him, yes. He said, oh, well, I'm not, because every time I get on a train with you, it breaks down. So it's my fault.
Had you ever seen him before?
I said to him, well, it happens to me. I said, I'm on the train and I'm trying to get to work. I said, so, you know, I'm being inconvenienced. He said, no, but he said, every time I see you on the train, he said, we go 2 stations up the line and we're all turfed off.
There was another incident. I'm just trying to recall it now in my mind.
What? Not the lady that accused me of having an affair.
That's the one. That's the one. Yes, yes. I knew it was something to do with being married.
She got on the bus and she looked straight at me and she shouted out for everybody on the bus to hear that this lady's a whore. She ran off with my sister's husband. And I'm going to her, it's not me. It wasn't me. Yes, it was. She said, you ran off with my sister's husband. And she just kept going on and on. Then she started telling me that I'd lived in King's Cross, and I was thinking, oh my God, well, maybe she knows me from somewhere. But then I was sort of looking at her and I was thinking, well, she's nowhere near my age. And I said to her, how old's your sister? And she sort of said 43. I said, well, I'm in my 70s. I said, and it's definitely not me. But she wouldn't have it. And then the bus broke down and we all had to get off.
Oh,
but the driver got it going again, so we were allowed back on. And I was hoping she would disappear upstairs, but she didn't. She got back on the bus and she continued the conversation until she got off at Euston, and she just went on and on and on. And even when she got off the bus, she sort of turned around to everybody and sort of said, I'm telling you, she's a whore. She ran off with my sister's husband. And end of story. No, and I just sort of turned around and said to them, it wasn't me. And I thought, well, half of them probably don't believe.
Well, so I think the motto there really is, Gwen, you know, if couples are coming into pubs that you're singing at, to hold on to their boyfriends or husbands.
Chris. I know you tell stories about me in the in the pubs about, you know.
We do have a bit of a laugh, don't we? I often pick up the microphone wherever Gwen has come to see the karaoke, and I say, "This is Gwen." Incidentally, and I'll let her sing her song. And I often say, incidentally, Gwen she runs a business in King's Cross in London. She runs a very large house with girls working for her, and at the moment she is looking for new Eastern European girls to come and work. So if anyone's interested, very good rates of pay. You don't have to pay her much commission. She will look after you. Please come up and see me. And Gwen sits there and she shouts out, "Oh, stop it, stop it. What do they think of me?" Don't they, Gwen?
That's right, Chris, because it's all right if it's people that know me and know you by now, but if it's new people, they'll probably think, "Oh my God."
No, they don't. They sit there laughing. But I think it is the look that you've got, Gwen. It's kind of the look. I can see you in one of those houses, sitting on the till at the front door, collecting the money.
Thanks a lot.
Collecting the money as the boys come in, you know. Gwen, you going to sing us a song today?
Oh, what do you want me to sing?
I don't know, really. Let me get my karaoke machine up on here. Oh, sorry, I haven't cut you off, have I? You still there?
I'm still here.
Sorry, I thought I'd cut you off then. Let's do a song, shall we? You can do on your own. What one do you fancy doing today? Because we want to hear your beautiful tones. Right.
Shall I do?
What did you do last time? What's the fast? Oh, I tell you what. Shall we do our duet?
Oh yes.
Let's do our
Streets of
duet.
London.
Streets of London. You don't need the words, do you?
No, I think. Well, I might do, but I'll follow you.
Okay. Are you going to do your solo bits?
Yeah, if I can remember the words.
Okay. Right. Streets of London.
You'll have to. You'll probably have to judge me into that. You sing it low, and I'll follow you.
Okay. All right then. I'll have to put my headphones on for this so I can hear what's going on. Oh, what? I've got alarms going off now, Gwen. Oh, here we go. It's the 12 o'clock alarm system. Can you hang on a second, Gwen?
Yes.
Be back in a minute. 1 minute. Oh, hang on. 1 minute. Back in a second. There we are. It's all going on here today, I tell you. We'll have 2 more alarms go off before the end.
What alarms are they?
They're just alarms that go off at 12 o'clock because I need to do things at 12.
Oh, I see.
Right, but we won't worry too much. What's the time anyway? How long have we been going for? Let me have a quick look. Oh, we've got bags of time left. Right. Okay, I'll put my headphones on. And here we go. Right, Gwen and me doing Streets of London. I hope you can hear the music all right. It's just coming up now, Gwen. You know the bits to sing, and I'll sing my bits and you sing your bits.
Well, yeah, but you might have to jog me along on that.
Okay. I'll bring you in when it's your turn, okay? Here we go. Now, have you seen the old man in the closed down market? Are you singing, Gwen?
Yes.
Kicking up his paper with his worn out shoes. In his eyes, I can't. Gwen, I can't hear you, darling.
Can't you hear me?
I can't hear you very well, no. You're a bit quiet. I wonder if I can turn you up. Let me see. Oh, I think I can. I'll just turn you up a bit more there. Okay? We'll have another go, Gwen. You ready?
All right.
Because we like to be able to hear you, my darling. Here we go again, fingers crossed. The music might be a bit quiet at your end. I think it was just a bit too loud.
Okay.
All right, here we go. It's exciting, isn't it? There we are. Here we go. Have you seen the old man in his closed down market, kicking up the paper with his worn out shoes? In his eyes you see no pride, and held loosely at his side yesterday's paper, telling yesterday's news. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll tell you something to make you change your mind. Have you seen the old girl who walks the streets of London? Dirt in her hair and her clothes in rags. She's no time for talking, she just keeps right on walking, carrying her home into carrier bags. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll tell you something that'll make you change your mind. You'll go, Gwen?
You might have to help me with the words.
Okay. Have a go. In the all-night cafe at 11:15.
Have you seen?
In the all-night cafe
at 11:15. Same old man sitting there on his own, over the brim of a teacup. I've forgotten the words.
Each tea lasts an hour, then he wanders home alone. That's it. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. Last verse. Have you seen the old man outside the seaman's mission? Memory fading with the metal ribbons that he wears. In a winter city, the rain cries a little pity for one more forgotten hero in a world that doesn't care. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for me that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand and lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. Yeah, Gwen.
Thank you, Chris. I think I messed that up for you.
Oh,
but
it doesn't matter, dear. Doesn't matter. I sing much worse than you know that. And do you know what? We have news. I know 2 people definitely are coming to see us in Belushi's in Hammersmith on a Monday night. That is Suko in New York. You will meet her.
Okay, when will that be?
That's in a couple of months' time.
Okay.
And also, I don't know if you know of Millie in Minnesota.
I've heard you talk about, yeah.
Okay, she's coming down as well at some point during the year.
Oh, that'll be nice.
So you'll be able to meet all these people.
Yeah,
more
it's
friends.
wonderful, isn't it? There you are. You're so famous, Chris.
No, you're the famous one. You need a fan club, Gwen.
That's what I need.
People with little badges, and what you could do when they get here, you could have a little welcome pack.
Yeah, we'll throw a little party.
Yes, like a plastic bag with various different pictures of you in various different positions.
Okay.
And perhaps a little badge.
Slumps in an armchair.
A little badge, you know, with Gwen Fan Club written on there or something like that.
All right, Chris.
I'm going to make a note of that, actually.
Well, I'll leave you to be my agent and get that organised.
I'm the one who needs an agent, Gwen. I don't know where I've put my book now with my bits of writing in it. Where's my book? The book's gone. Oh, here it is. There's my book. That's it. Let me just make a note of that.
Are you still talking? You sound miles away.
Oh, so yeah, I was miles away. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm right on top of the microphone now. Good. Well, that's it then, Gwen.
That's
Thank you very
it,
much.
Chris. That was very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you for talking.
That's
People
a pleasure.
do write in, you see. They do write in and say, we haven't heard Gwen for a while. So there's the update on the Gwen stories.
Thank you very much.
And I think the thing
Love
is...
to everybody.
The thing is, we don't want to put people off using buses and trains.
Well, no. It's just me that this happens to, because I never know anybody else that has the same problem.
And that is true. It only happens to Gwen. I know of no one who's got stories like this. Okay? Seriously, it's true. It only
Yeah, because every
happens-
time I come in, I've got a story for you, haven't
Yeah.
I, Chris? Something's happened to me, either going home or coming in again.
It's only
Well, I hope you have a lovely time
to
at your
Gwen.
school party tonight.
Thank you, Gwen.
All
Stop.
right, then.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on air, and love to everybody that's listening.
Thank you, Gwen.
All right, then.
Speak soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye
Bye.
now. There we are. Gwen, who is one of our regular karaoke people. Belushi's in Hammersmith every Monday night from 9 o'clock. Good. Lovely to hear her. Don't forget the email address of the show is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Also, in the coming few shows, we'll be having Joy on again, Joy in Acton. Okay, and also I did try a couple of shows ago to get Matty, the Tasmanian Devil. Now, you've never heard from him. He's in Tasmania, in Australia, and we did try and get him up on the Skype, but unfortunately the technology didn't work. I don't know why. I think it was at his end. The microphone kept cutting in and out, which, I mean, you can put up with it for so much, but it would have done your brain in trying to listen to what he was saying. It was a bit like this, like all at a time, and so we couldn't do that, unfortunately. Maybe in the future we'll be able to sort that out. Right then, an email before we go, because we're nearly out of time today, and this comes from Carmel, who's in Lincolnshire. She lives quite near my sister. Hello, Carmel. And she says, Chris, you were talking about DIY and your neighbour across the road always doing his kitchen 3 or 4 times a year. How do you know he's not listening to your show? What are you like? Well, quite honestly, Carmel, I hope he is listening to the show, because we get fed up being woken up on a Sunday morning by someone banging away at a wall, putting another cupboard up, or decorating the kitchen, and sawing outside his house. He saws right outside the house. What annoys me, he chucks the rubbish in the green area. He just chucks it there. And I get very annoyed about that. I've never actually said anything. I go around and pick it up and put it in my bin. But why do people do that, eh? Anyway, thanks for that, Carmel. And that's about it from the show today. As always, hope you enjoyed our little chat with Gwen. And I'll see you on the next show. Don't forget, do join in by the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you on the next show. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.